morning all of you. Yeah. So I hope you remember everything that I have taught you last lecture, the histology of the ovary. We'll just revise this once again, and today we go into a beautiful concept, the menstrual cycle. How does menstruation take place in girls at puberty, and what is the logic of menstruation? First, just a quick fire recap of what we had done in the last lecture. The histology of the ovary shows that within the ovary are found many rounded structures which are called as follicles. At birth, there are about 1 million follicles called as the primordial follicles. And primordial follicles are there 1 million at birth. By the age of 12 to 14 years, it becomes 40,000 follicles in each ovary. So follicles have undergone degeneration, which is called as atresia. And then at puberty, age of 12 to 14 years, from the pituitary gland is released a hormone called as follicle stimulating hormone. And follicle stimulating hormone stimulates the primordial follicles, and primordial follicles start increasing in size. How will they increase in size? Primordial follicle first becomes the early primary follicle. Primordial follicle becomes early primary follicle, enlarges further to become the late primary follicle, enlarges further to form the secondary follicle, enlarges further to form the Graafian follicle. So primordial follicle, early primary follicle, late primary follicle, secondary follicle, Graafian follicle, and I hope you remember theca internal layer of the secondary follicle, theca internal layer starts giving the hormone estrogen. Estrogen is secreted by the theca interna of the secondary follicle. And when it forms the Graafian follicle rapidly enlarges and then it will burst, and the oocyte inside is released, a phenomenon called as ovulation takes place. This egg gets sucked with the help of fimbriae into the fallopian tube and starts moving ahead with the help of cilia. So ciliary movement say egg starts moving in the fallopian tube. In the meantime, ruptured Graafian follicle has blood collected in it, which is now called as the corpus hemorrhagicum. And very soon, red blood cells of the clot, RBCs of the clot of the corpus hemorrhagicum get converted into yellow colored lipid-rich cells, which are called as the corpus luteum. And corpus luteum, which is full of yellow colored lipid-rich cells, starts secreting both progesterone and some amount of estrogen, of which progesterone passes from the ovary along with estrogen, circulates in the blood and acts on the uterus, on the innermost lining of the uterus. I hope you remember, endometrium. And progesterone and estrogen stimulate the endometrium. Endometrium has in it mucus glands which start secreting mucus. Uterine glands will start secreting uterine milk, a sugary milky fluid, and blood vessels become coiled and the endometrium becomes thick, and these preparations are done by progesterone. Why are these preparations done? Because ovulation has taken place egg is in the fallopian tube, suppose at the same time copulation takes place, ejaculation takes place. Sperms will go and fuse with the egg to form the zygote. The zygote now by ciliary movements will first form and cell division first form a morula. The morula will drop on the endometrium and it will stick to the endometrium with the help of mucus. And then uterine milk given by uterine glands convert morula into a blastula. And blood vessels coiled implant the endometrium. The blastula implants in the endometrium and blood vessels in the future form a bag called as the placenta and the umbilical cord and provide nourishment to the developing fetus. So sir, once fertilization and pregnancy takes place, the corpus luteum will persist. It will remain as it is and keeps on secreting progesterone and estrogen. But suppose ovulation takes place, copulation, ejaculation does not take place, fertilization does not take place, then the unfertilized egg drops on the endometrium and in the ovary, the corpus luteum will shrink to form a dead white tissue called as corpus albicans, and corpus luteum has become corpus albicans, which means now the secretion of progesterone and estrogen stops, and in the absence of progesterone and estrogen, endometrium cannot hold itself, the endometrium will burst. Blood vessels burst, mucous glands burst, uterine glands burst, blood, mucus, uterine milk and the unfertilized egg mix together and pass from the uterus through the vagina out of the female body. A phenomenon called as menstruation takes place. And along with menstruation is now completed a cycle called as the ovarian cycle. A 28-day cycle called as the ovarian cycle ends. One cycle ends and a new cycle begins, means again a primordial follicle becomes early primary follicle, late primary follicle, secondary follicle, Graafian follicle. Again ovulation takes place after 28 days and the egg is in the fallopian tube. Ruptured Graafian follicle, corpus hemorrhagicum then becomes a corpus luteum. Corpus luteum secretes progesterone and estrogen which prepare the endometrium. Suppose ovulation takes place and fertilization does not take place, unfertilized egg drops on the endometrium and in the ovary corpus luteum will shrink to form corpus albicans, estrogen progesterone secretion will stop, endometrium will burst, menstruation takes place again. And this phenomenon is called as the ovarian cycle, and classically connected to this ovarian cycle is the other cycle which is called as the menstrual cycle, also called the female reproductive cycle. So what is the menstrual cycle defined as? The menstrual cycle is defined as the cyclic changes that take place in the endometrium every 28 days normally. Cyclic changes that take place in the endometrium every 28 days is called as the menstrual cycle. What do you mean by this? Sir, we have uterus, we have the innermost lining called as the endometrium, and unfertilized egg drops on the endometrium. In the ovary, corpus luteum will shrink to form corpus albicans. Estrogen, progesterone will become less in the absence of progesterone and estrogen, endometrium cannot hold itself, it will burst. Bleeding will take place, unfertilized egg with blood will go out. Over the next few days, this endometrium starts becoming repaired. It will get repaired. And then 28 days are over, from either of the ovaries, again ovulation takes place. The egg starts passing in the fallopian tube, and in the endometrium, it starts becoming thick. Mucus is secreted, uterine milk is secreted, blood vessels become coiled, endometrium becomes thick. In other words, endometrium gets prepared. So endometrium gets prepared, but an unfertilized egg drops on the endometrium. Once again the endometrium bursts. Over the next few days it will repair. Then it will have ovulation. Then the endometrium will thicken or prepare. But an unfertilized egg drops here, endometrium bursts, it will repair, there is ovulation, it will prepare, unfertilized egg drops here, burst, repair, ovulation, prepare, unfertilized egg, burst, repair, ovulation, prepare, unfertilized egg, burst, repair, ovulation, prepare. What is this going on? This is a cycle going on within the endometrium, a cycle of 4 phases: birth, repair, ovulation, prepare, birth, repair, ovulation, prepare, and this cycle of 4 changes is called as the menstrual cycle. तो इसे कहते हैं menstrual cycle. Birth, repair, ovulation, prepare, 4 changes taking place in the endometrium every 28 days is called as the menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is the characteristic of primates. Monkeys, apes and humans show menstrual cycle. So monkeys, humans and apes, gorillas, chimpanzees, orangutans are all showing menstrual cycle. In other mammals who are not primates, non-primate mammals show a similar cycle, but that is different and is called as the estrous cycle. इस cycle को क्या कहते हैं? Estrous cycle. So mammals who are primates, monkeys, apes and humans show menstrual cycle. Other mammals show a cycle called as the estrous cycle. And menstrual cycle starts at the age of puberty. Puberty, which is also called menarche, which is around the age of 12 to 14 years. So at the age of 12 to 14 years, which is called as menarche, menstruation will begin. Menstruation, arch is to begin. So menstruation begins, which is called as menarche, and the cycle repeats every 28 days till the age of 45 to 50 years. And till 45 to 50 years, the cycle goes on. Then the cycling stops, and that is called as menopause. Menstruation pauses to stop. So when does menarche? At 12 to 14 years, it begins. When does it stop? Menopause, 45 to 50 years. So how much is the reproductive age of a woman? एक लेडी की reproductive age कितनी है? So if we look at the two figures, 45 years पे menopause आता है and it started at 12 years. So 12 years पे menarche. So 45 minus 12 is approximately 33 years. 33 years is the reproductive age of a woman. And she gets a menstrual cycle once every 28 days. In other words, approximately once in a month, which means she gets menstruation or menstrual cycle 12 times in a year. And 12 times a year multiplied by 33 years of her reproductive age is approximately 400 menstrual cycles. So from menarche 12 to 14 years till menopause 45 to 50 years, how many menstrual cycles will take place? 400. How many times a girl will bleed through her vagina? 400. How many ovulations take place? 400. How many ovarian cycles take place? 400. How many chances of babies to be born there? 400. So 400 ovarian cycles, 400 ovulations, in other words 400 chances of fertilization, and if it does not take place 400 times, menstruation will take place. But suppose ovulation takes place and copulation, ejaculation takes place, and some go and fuse with the zygote to form the morula. From the zygote will form morula, morula will then drop on the endometrium and will form the blastula, and now in the ovary, corpus luteum will persist, and that means it will keep on giving progesterone and estrogen. In the presence of progesterone, estrogen, endometrium will not burst, and it will supply continuous nourishment to the fetus, and that means the menstrual cycle will stop. So when does menstruation stop? During pregnancy. As a matter of fact, the first sign of pregnancy, how does a lady know I have become pregnant? She will stop with her monthly periods. Her menstrual cycle will stop. So any regular menstruating girl, if she has a stoppage of a period, chances are she has become pregnant. So pregnancy is confirmed by the stopping of the menstrual cycle. This menstrual cycle consists of 4 phases. 4 फेज की ये साइकिल होती है. Namely, you have the menstrual phase, also called bleeding phase. You have the proliferative phase or the follicular phase. You have the ovulatory phase, and you have the secretory phase, also called the luteal phase. Now, what do you mean by these words? Sir, सबसे पहले let's see what exactly are the phases of the cycle. So, sir, there are 4 phases of the cycle. Cycle is a 28-day cycle. From day 1 to day 5 will take place bleeding. Bleeding is from day 1 to day 5. What is that called as? The menstrual phase. From day 6 to day 13 will be repair of the endometrium, and repairing is called as the proliferative phase. Repair phase is called proliferative phase. On day 14, midway of the cycle. If you remember, this is a 28-day cycle, so 14 days is the midway of the cycle. Takes place ovulation. So ovulation is on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, and that is called as the ovulatory phase. and day 15 to day 28 is half the cycle in which there is secretion of mucus, uterine milk, blood vessels coil and thicken, and that is called as the secretory phase. What is that phase called as? The secretory phase. Secretory phase is half the cycle. From day 15 to day 28, half the cycle is the secretory phase. So once again, you have birth, repair, ovulation, prepare, endometrium पे unfertilized egg, birth. Day 1 to day 5 bleeding takes place. Day 1 to day 5 bleeding. Day 6 to day 13 is repair. On day 14 is ovulation. And day 15 to day 28 is prepare. But an unfertilized egg drops here, endometrium birth. Day 1 to day 5 bleeding. Day 6 to day 13 repair. On day 14 ovulation. Day 15 to day 28 prepare. Unfertilized egg drops here, birth. Day 1 to day 5 bleeding, called as the menstrual phase. Day 6 to day 13 repair, called as the proliferative phase. Called as the proliferative phase. Day 14 ovulation, called as the ovulatory phase. And day 15 to day 28 endometrium prepare, which is called as the secretory phase. Unfertilized egg drops here, endometrium birth. Day 1 to day 5 bleeding, called as the menstrual phase. Day 6 to day 13 repair, called as the proliferative phase. On day 14 ovulation, called as the ovulatory phase. Day 15 to day 28 prepare, called as the secretory phase. Endometrium पे unfertilized egg here, burst, bleeding for 5 days, menstrual phase. 6 to 13 days repair, called as the proliferative phase. On day 14 ovulation, called as the ovulatory phase. Day 15 to day 28 prepare, called as the secretory phase. Unfertilized egg drops here, burst, repair, ovulation, prepare, and the cycle goes on every 28 days. Third, how is the cycle controlled? This cycle, called as the ovarian cycle, is controlled by, or menstrual cycle is controlled by hormones. And we just have a slight deviation from the menstrual cycle to understand the concept of hormones. Suna hai, in your brain is your main biological clock called as the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus controls your pituitary gland, and pituitary gland controls all the other glands of the body. Say for example, it controls the thyroid gland. So hypothalamus controls pituitary gland controls the thyroid gland, and thyroid gland gives out the hormone called as thyroxine. So how does pituitary control thyroid gland? By giving out a hormone called as thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone, नाम से मालूम पड़ रहा है, is secreted by pituitary gland, and thyroid stimulating hormone stimulates the thyroid gland to produce thyroxine. And hypothalamus controls the pituitary gland by giving out thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone, TSH, RH. thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone, नाम से मालूम पड़ रहा है hypothalamus gives out thyroid stimulating hormone, releasing hormone which releases from the pituitary gland thyroid stimulating hormone which stimulates the thyroid gland and it secretes thyroxine. Suppose the level of thyroxine secretion becomes less. अगर thyroxine कम हो जाएगा, then स्कूल में सुना था this is called as hypothyroidism and the person can develop a goiter. So goiter is because of thyroxine deficiency. So this means thyroxine कम है तो goiter हो सकता है, and that means now you have to increase level of thyroxine. So by blood thyroxine will circulate in the body and the message will go from the thyroid gland to the hypothalamus that thyroxine secretion कम हो गया है, and hypothalamus will try to increase the level of thyroxine. How will it increase the level of thyroxine? It will start secreting more of TSH/RH, more of thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone, which will act on the pituitary gland, and pituitary gland will give out more of thyroid stimulating hormone. More of thyroid stimulating hormone will act on the thyroid gland and the level of thyroxine will start increasing. From less than normal, it will become normal, but very soon it will become more than normal. So from less than normal, it has become more than normal. इस सुना है अगर thyroid gland से excessive thyroxine secrete होता है, that is very dangerous. It produces a disease called as exophthalmic goiter. Exophthalmic. Eyeballs is called ophthalm. Study of eyes is called ophthalmology. And exophthalm means there is protrusion of the eyeballs, and along with it a goiter will develop, and that condition is called exophthalmic goiter. So excessive thyroxine will produce exophthalmic goiter. Now that's also dangerous. So immediately from the thyroid gland a message will go to the hypothalamus, and hypothalamus will stop the secretion of thyroxine. How? It will stop giving TSH/RH. So pituitary gland will stop giving TSH, and sir, as thyroxine is more, TSH becomes less, acts on the thyroid gland, and the level of thyroxine also starts becoming less. So it will become less than normal. Will again give a message to hypothalamus. TSH/RH will increase, TSH will increase, thyroxine will increase. More thyroxine will give a message to hypothalamus. TSH/RH will become less, TSH will become less, thyroxine level will decrease. And sir, ये सिलसिला जिंदगी भर चलते रहता है. Thyroxine never reaches normal level. First it is more than normal, then less than normal, then more than normal, then less than normal, और ये ऐसे ही एक wave pattern में thyroxine रहता है. Who controls this? This is all controlled by the hypothalamus. So hypothalamus is the great controller, and I hope you have heard of this in school. This is called as a feedback mechanism. If thyroxine is less, then hypothalamus will give more TSH/RH, more TSH and more thyroxine. So thyroxine is less will give a message to hypothalamus and TSH-RH will become more. This is called as a positive feedback. And positive feedback कब होता है? जब thyroxine कम है and hypothalamus will increase thyroid stimulating hormone, releasing hormone, that is called as a positive feedback. And TSH will become more and thyroxine will also become more. More thyroxine will now give a message to hypothalamus and hypothalamus will stop giving TSH-RH. This is called as a negative feedback. So, more thyroxine gives a negative feedback and TSH-RH becomes less. TSH becomes less and thyroxine becomes less. This is a negative feedback. Less thyroxine will give a positive feedback. TSH-RH more, TSH more, thyroxine becomes more. More thyroxine gives a negative feedback. TSH-RH less, TSH less, thyroxine less, and इस तरह से levels of thyroxine are beautifully controlled by positive and negative feedback given to the hypothalamus. I hope you all have understood this, and if you have understood this, we now change the words. We change the word. Hypothalamus controls the pituitary and pituitary now controls your ovary, and ovary gives out two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. Let us assume the level of estrogen is less and progesterone is less. Less estrogen will give a positive feedback to the hypothalamus and hypothalamus will try to increase the level of estrogen. How? Estrogen, if you remember, is mainly secreted by theca interna of the secondary follicle. So hypothalamus starts giving out the hormone called as follicle stimulating hormone, releasing hormone. If you remember, these are gonadotropin releasing hormones. And follicle stimulating hormone, releasing hormone levels will become high, will act on the pituitary, and pituitary will give out more of follicle stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone will act on the ovary, and follicle stimulating hormone stimulates the follicle, stimulates the theca interna of the secondary follicle, and theca interna getting stimulated starts releasing estrogen, and the level of estrogen will become high. So estrogen levels will become high. But now high levels of estrogen will give a negative feedback to the hypothalamus, and hypothalamus will stop giving FSH-RH. So pituitary will stop giving FSH, and in the absence of FSH, theca interna of the secondary follicle does not get stimulated. It stops giving estrogen, and the level of estrogen starts becoming low. So estrogen is low, progesterone is low, FSH low, FSH-RH low. Now progesterone levels are very less. Less progesterone gives a positive feedback to the hypothalamus, and hypothalamus will try to increase the secretion of progesterone. Who secretes progesterone? corpus luteum. So now the hypothalamus gives out a hormone called as luteum stimulating hormone releasing hormone. Luteum stimulating hormone releasing hormone is nowadays called as luteinizing hormone releasing hormone. So what does hypothalamus give? Less progesterone gives a positive feedback and hypothalamus gives luteinizing hormone releasing hormone which will act on the pituitary and the pituitary will give out luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone will act on the ovary and luteinizing hormone will act on the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum will start secreting both progesterone and some amount of estrogen. So progesterone levels will become high, estrogen levels will again become high. But sir, progesterone has increased for the first time, estrogen has increased for the second time. First time estrogen was secreted by theca interna, now estrogen is secreted by the corpus luteum and progesterone is secreted in a large volume from corpus luteum. Now, high amount of progesterone will give a negative feedback to the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus will stop helping in secretion of progesterone. It stops giving LHRH. So pituitary gland stops giving LH, and in the absence of LH, in the absence of luteinizing hormone, corpus luteum will degenerate to form the corpus albicans. So who was stimulating corpus luteum? LH. And what will happen when LH will become less? Corpus luteum will shrink to form corpus albicans, and that means the secretion of estrogen and progesterone will start becoming less. क्योंकि corpus albicans से progesterone estrogen secrete नहीं होता है. I hope you all have understood this. Then sir, I hope you have understood. We started with less estrogen, less progesterone. We have come back to less estrogen, less progesterone. In other words, this is a 28-day cycle called as the menstrual cycle. And this is the 28-day cycle called as the hormonal control of the menstrual cycle. So this 28-day cycle is the hormonal control of the menstrual cycle. We just take a small break and then we apply this hormonal control to the menstrual cycle. Immediately see the next video, all of you, immediately. And please understand how the hormonal control is there over the menstrual cycle.